welcome back to another episode of Travel Talk, where I talk about travel. So again, I threw up a little question box on my Instagram, and we're just going to talk about a few questions that people asked. I actually really enjoyed this last episode, and I hope you did as well, so I'm going to keep doing them, because it is quite fun to just chat about, I suppose, my experiences, and then help answer any questions you have. Again, not an expert on this, still very new to it, but I think you might be able to learn a thing or two about my experiences, what I did well and what I failed to do so well. But yeah, let's dive straight into these. First question was, where am I going next? So I'm at home right now. I'm working 2 jobs. I spoke about this a little bit in the last episode. I do Monday to Friday nights in a mail centre in Portlaoise, and then I work in a butcher's as well. I do that Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, so 7 days a week basically. I cannot wait for the electric picnic. Bit of time off, chill out, music, and a few drinks with friends. That should be really good crack. I'm really looking forward to that. But for the time being, working 2 jobs. I have my working holiday maker visa for Australia, so the plan is to fly there in January. I was actually looking at flights today, and they're looking at about €1,000, which really isn't that bad. That's with Emirates as well. It's one stopover in Dubai, so that would be ideal, really. So the thing with that is, to actually apply for it, you go onto the Australian government website. Only use that website, don't use anything else. And a lot of companies offer to like give you a hand and like help you with your visa, help you find a job and stuff like that. And from what I've read, you can do it all yourself. I know a girl over there at the minute, and she did it all herself. The only thing she had set up before she went was a bank account, and that was it, and she got on perfectly fine. So I will talk about that more obviously when I'm there, but I would say just do it yourself. It really doesn't sound that hard, and there seems to be a lot of work over there, especially the mandatory 88 days that you have to do to get your second year. Seems to be plenty of work over there, and I'm really looking forward to that. The only thing is, you need 5,000 Australian dollars to apply for the visa, or to get your visa granted. So I think that's about 3,500 euro, somewhere along there. So bear in mind, you do need that, and you need to send like a bank statement with your visa application, just so they know that you have enough money to cover yourself for that intermittent time if you're not starting a job straight away. Keep that in mind. But other than that, it's like really simple. Just, yeah, basic information, your name, you have to give like your PPS number and stuff like that. I presume that's for Garda vetting and like making sure you don't have criminal history or anything like that. But yeah, mine was super simple. You used to have to wait like, sometimes you could like take up to like 4 months, but I got mine in 1 minute. And some people like miss it, so they'll apply for it, and then they think that they get an email saying like, oh, your visa's being processed, and you do get one of them, but I got the granted one like very quickly afterwards. So just double check your emails if you have applied for one and you didn't think you got an email back and it's been like a few months. Just go back to when you applied for it and make sure there's not a second email saying that it's been granted, because that happens to a few people and they have to go like looking for it. So yeah, that's what I'm up to now, and that's where I'm going next. Whereabouts in Australia, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm quite open to like recommendations, or like whatever job opportunities there are. I do have relations moving to Brisbane, so I wouldn't be against the idea of going to the East Coast. It would be nice to have family somewhat close by, so like Gold Coast, Brisbane, that sort of area. But really, I really don't know yet. I would probably decide that in October when I book the flights. So yeah, that's the crack at the minute anyway, and just between now and then, keeping my head down. Gonna make a few more of these videos, and probably just stuff around Ireland. Keep it nice and simple. I probably will only get away for day trips, I'm working a lot at the minute. I actually have like an hour before I have to get ready for work. So yeah, fun, but has to be done. Right, on to the next one. Cons of traveling. So for me, the pros like severely outweigh the cons, but there are like tough moments when you're traveling. I didn't experience many of them. I think I was just like so excited, like, and it was just such a new experience that I just really enjoyed it. But I would say there's like big cons and then like small cons, and the way I would break them down would be like the big ones are like your friends and family. Like you do, if you get along with your family, which I do, and I have like an amazing family and my friends are brilliant as well. It is tough not seeing them, especially I live in quite a small town, like everyone's always around, parents are always at home, like I am blessed that I have such a good like family and friend group around me, and you do miss them when you're away. I wouldn't say I was necessarily homesick, but there are times where you're like, it would be nice to be like chatting to the family and all that, and they are only like a phone call away, but it is like, it's different, like, you know, sitting in the kitchen having a conversation with them, or like my family, like we try to eat dinner together all the time, so like that's another thing that you do miss. And yeah, just like being able to, you know, because I've worked with like a lot of my friends as well, so it's weird not like seeing them every day, if you get me. But still, I would say if you're a little bit hesitant on that, maybe go for like a 2-week trip just to see if you like it, or even like a weekend, like however long you think you might just like, you might want just a little taste of it, if you get me. So I would say consider that before you know, fly to the other side of the world, if that's something you would be a little bit nervous about. And then little cons are like this, yeah, like the small stuff that you'd miss, like your own bed. Like I have a double bed, and hostels are really fun, but you have no privacy whatsoever unless you're in a private room. Like you're gonna be in like anywhere from like a 4-bed dorm up to, I think the biggest I stayed in was a 12, which is like, it's not crazy, like a 12 is like a lot of people, but there are like 16, 20, 24-bed dorms, especially in like Southeast Asia. I've heard people like staying in 24-bed dorms. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, no real privacy. Then washing your clothes. I know you have to wash your clothes at home, but you are literally living out of a bag, and you have to wash your clothes quite frequently. Saying that, it sounds weird, but you wash your clothes less frequently but more often, if you get me. So a lot of the times you wear a t-shirt for a day and you throw it in the wash. When you're traveling, you will wear that t-shirt 2-3 days before washing it. Shorts, you can get a week out of shorts. Underwear, bit different. You do need to change your underwear. Change your underwear every day. Don't be gross. Yeah, they're like the little cons, the little things that are annoying that you miss about home, like having a full wardrobe. Granted, I wear a lot of the times the same things over and over again. Like this t-shirt here, I wore that abroad. These shorts and shoes was one thing. I only brought the one pair of runners. I have different shoes on. I have Converse on at the minute. But yeah, I pretty much wear like the same stuff as I did when I was traveling. Shorts and the same like 6-7 t-shirts are kind of in rotation basically. But yeah, they are the little things that are annoying when you're traveling, the cons, but the pros severely outweigh them. Get out there and see what not even the world has to offer. See what your own country has to offer. Go for a weekend away, sleep in your car if you have to, pitch a tent, whatever, I don't know, whatever tickles your fancy. Just yeah, get a bit of a feel for what it's like to be kind of out there on your own, independent from your mom and dad cooking your dinner every day. And yeah, it's really fun. that's another thing, like when you're getting your meals and different things like that, like they're all like certainties that I had when I was at home that I didn't have when I was abroad. Like obviously I always ate dinner, but it was just where am I going to eat, where am I going to stay, where am I going to get my clothes washed. There was one point in Costa Rica where I remember I got to this, it wasn't even a hostel, it was like a camper van on this like campsite, and I was staying there. It cost me like 25 quid a night or something like that. Stayed there for 2 nights, and I was like, that's grand, I'll go down here and I'll get my clothes washed. And they had no like they had no washing facility, and all I could do was shower and wear the clothes that I had been wearing for the last week, and it was absolutely disgusting. I could not wait to get to a place that had a washing machine. And I went into town as well to try find like a laundrette or something, but they all said that it would take like 2 days for me to get my clothes back, and I didn't have that much time. So that was a low moment in terms of hygiene. I was still like showering, but I just didn't have any fresh clothes to wear, and when I got that stuff washed, I felt like a new man. It was unbelievable. So yeah, they're the little cons that that go with sort of long-term travel, I guess, when you're working out of a backpack. Next one is tips for saving money for your essentials. So I made quite a few mistakes in the lead up to heading off. Like I went out and ate out way more often than I should have, sort of in the 3-4 months before I was heading out. And I'm not saying don't do that, like don't go out, don't go for meals with friends, or don't like go for a few pints at the pub. Like do, like, but just be more selective maybe about how often you're going out or how much you're spending when you go out. And also I would say, especially like in Ireland, it's like such a big thing where you say you're going for 1 or 2, but you just never do. You're always out for the night. It takes a serious amount of like discipline to just go home after 2 pints, and I do not have that discipline at all. And I've come to the realization that if I'm going out, chances are like that is like 50 quid gone. Especially, I'm very lucky, like I live in the town, so I don't have to pay for like taxis home. But if you have to like pay for taxis home and you're partial to getting food after a night out, that's 60-70 euro. Like it builds up and goes so quickly. And the way I like to think of it as, I like to think of it as days abroad. So when I was in Central America, I was spending between like 35 and 40 euro a day. And if you go out, that's an entire day that you could spend in Central America. And if you go out twice a week for the month, like if you go out like Saturday night, Sunday night, or Friday night, Saturday night, like that's 200 quid. That's 2 nights a week. So that's 8 nights a month. It builds up so quickly. So there's like 8 days you could have spent abroad that you now are like short, I would see it as. So as well as that, like buying unnecessary things, like buying unnecessary stuff. You know, sometimes you think you need something, but you buy it for the sake of buying it. Like I don't know, a jumper or a jacket or something, especially in those like months, those close months leading up to when you're planning to leave. I would just be really mindful of what you're spending your money on. Again, don't say no to everything, because it is nice to see your friends in that time, because you mightn't see them for, well, for me it was like 5 months. You might plan to go for a year, you might plan to go for 3 months. I really don't know, but just keep in mind that they are kind of like the last few moments that you're going to get with your friends before you head off, and to enjoy them, you know. My sister is waving goodbye to me. So think of it in terms of days abroad, as in, okay, well, I've worked out that Southeast Asia is going to cost me 25 quid a day, and if that's the case, then your 50 quid on a night out is 2 days abroad. So be very mindful of that when you are spending money or eating out or going for pints and things like that. It's how I like to kind of keep myself in check. Now, I was pretty bad for it, but this time I'm going to try be a lot more careful with my money. And then you will have expenses coming up to your time of departure, if you get me. Like, if you don't have a bag, that's like 100 quid at least. Like, more than likely it's going to be about 150 quid if you want to get like a nice Osprey or what's that other really Deutscher, I think it's called. I know they're really nice bags. Like, they're 150 quid. As well as that, if your passport isn't in date, you have to pay for your passport. Vaccinations, if you have to get any, different things like that. It does add up, so be mindful. And speaking of that, it's like the next one is essentials that you need, and what did I bring that I never used. So like I was saying there, the essentials, like you have your backpack, your passport. I had to get a new passport because there was only 8 months left on it or something like that. There wasn't that much time left on it. Yeah, passport, vaccinations. I got a few. I already had some from the time that I went to Zambia with the school, so I just needed a few top-ups. But if you are planning on getting the whole rundown of like meningitis, typhoid, Hep A and B, yellow fever I would definitely recommend to get, because some countries won't let you in. I believe Belize, you need it. Colombia, I think it's like hit or miss whether they ask you for it, but I think you should get it. As well as that, a lot of African nations require yellow fever jab. It's just a good one to have. You get it once and it lasts you for your life. So it's yeah, I would recommend getting that. As well as that, clothes wise, I would say don't stray too far from what you wear like on a day-to-day basis at home. Like, wear stuff that you like, because there was no point on, if you like graphic tees and then you go along and you buy a load of like, I don't know, Under Armour tops and Nike running gear, but like that's not stuff you like. There's no need for that. There's no need for you to stray off your like style at home. If you like graphic tees, go out and buy yourself graphic tees and bring them. Like, wear what you like, because you feel like much more comfortable in yourself. You know, lots of people like take clothing as like self-expression, so I would say stick with what you like. If you like wearing activewear, bring activewear. If you like wearing graphic tees and shorts, bring them. The only thing I would say is footwear, choose very carefully. Now, I brought one pair of runners, or yeah, runners I guess you could call them. They were Nike Blazers, the high top ones, and they were absolute warriors. Unless you plan on doing some serious hiking, there is no need to bring hiking boots. I climbed a Katsutanango, and that's like an overnight hike, and I wore Blazers. Ben wore Air Max 90s, and one fella was doing them in sandals, and a fella was wearing chinos. So you'll be perfectly fine. There's no need to stray too far from what you like. Pick stuff that you're going to be comfortable in. I'd recommend one jacket and one hoodie. I brought just like this plain black Nike hoodie and a black and white North Face jacket. I actually have a video of everything I packed. I will leave it in the description or put it on the little card thing here for you to watch if you're interested in what I brought. And then one thing that I never used, or didn't really use, like I used nearly everything. I'd say I used everything frequently, because I brought such little stuff, I guess. But one thing was the malaria tablets. I took them for maybe 3 weeks, I want to say, and after that just stopped, because it's such a low risk out there. the only place I think you need them for is if you plan on going, I would say south, but it's more like east of Panama City, because Panama's like lengthways. So if you're going like east of Panama City to like San Blas Islands down towards like the oh, what's it called, the Darien Strait, is it? The little bit of dense forest down there beside Colombia. If you plan on going down to that sort of area, it is recommended that you bring malaria tablets. So I took them for 3 weeks. They gave me, I don't know if any of you have taken them before, but when we were in Zambia, we took them. It was kind of essential to take them then, and they gave me some of the most intense dreams ever. Like it was weird, but it was so cool. And I got the same effect when I was in Central America. They give you these really mad, like vivid dreams that you like proper remember, but they really messed with my stomach. Like they were just so like heavy, and yeah, I don't think it's recommended to take them for like long periods of time. It really wasn't nice. Yeah, I just every day, like not every day, but towards like the third week, it just felt like there was this like a boulder in my stomach, if you get me. Like yeah, it wasn't nice at all. So I stopped taking them, and plus everyone I spoke to, like nobody was taking them either. So I made the choice to put them away and not use them. I still have them. I still brought them home. I might need them in the future. They're good until like 24 or something like that, so you never know. Might bring them to Australia with me and then hopefully go to Southeast Asia or something like that. So I'm going to keep them there anyway, because they cost me a fortune. Cost me 250 quid, and I used them for 3 weeks. So that's one thing that I brought that I never used. But the rest of the stuff, yeah, I used pretty much on a daily basis, bar the rain jacket and jumper, but they are kind of essential, especially if you're going to be like hiking and stuff like that. It's also nice to have a pair of like cargo pants or like tracksuit bottoms, depending on which you prefer. I brought cargo trousers. I like them. They were really nice if it was like cool out, or yeah, if you're going to be doing overnight camping on like mountains and things like that, it's nice to have a pair of long trousers. So yeah, the next question is, any previous experience backpacking? Actually, they came up on my Snapchat memories. This day last year, I collected Paddy from the train station because we were flying to Italy. Oh, excuse me. No, we didn't necessarily backpack, but I only brought like a bag. It was a 25-litre North Face bag. That was what I brought, and it served me well. Yeah, just like shorts, t-shirts, and we did 1 week from Rome up to Pisa, and then Pisa to Milan, and I just worked out of the bag. Had like my drone and stuff in it as well, GoPro, shorts, t-shirts, socks, and just brought enough for a week, and it was happy days. But other than that, nothing. Nothing in Europe really, bar that Italy trip. Nothing really around Ireland. Just Central America. That's on the only one on the list now at the minute. But it's just like, you don't need experience to do it. Literally, like, especially in Ireland, it's just such a thing that people don't really do. Like, it's quite uncommon, if you get me, in terms of the likes of people in Germany, the Netherlands, Denmark, even in the UK. Like, a lot of them backpack after school or after college, and I don't know, there was such few Irish there. It was surprising actually, how few Irish people were there. But I would definitely recommend doing it. I do have a few friends who did interrailing. I spoke about that in the last episode, and I would love to do that someday. That looks unbelievable. One of my brother's friends is doing it at the minute, and it looks class. So yeah, no previous experience, just Central America, but hopefully many more trips to come and many more fun experiences. Alright, what was my diet like when I was away? Quite poor. Like, it's all carbs basically. A lot of beans, like black beans, not like baked beans. Yeah, black beans, rice, tortillas. You do get chicken and chicken, fish, pork, things like that. But yeah, really, really carb heavy and really, really beer heavy, because it's good fun, really. Especially in Guatemala, we drank a lot, and it was so what would happen would be there was 5 of us traveling together for a good while there. There was myself, Ben, Millie, Nettie, and Basti, and it would be like we decide one day we're not going to drink, and then one of us would want to have one, so we go order a drink, and then the rest would just follow basically, and then we'd all be drinking. And that happened quite regularly, almost every day. I would say we were having at least one beer, and like I said earlier, it's very hard to only have one or two. Usually you end up having quite more than that. But yeah, really good fun, and I wouldn't change it. My mother even said there the other day that I have gotten rid of my Guatemalan belly, so that's very encouraging. Nice to see that the time back in the gym is paying off. But yeah, real carb based. I think it's really because it's the cheapest stuff. So the likes of your like pupusas in El Salvador, your baleadas in Honduras, which are phenomenal. You get them, it's like tortilla, cheese, bean paste. You get them with chicken, and then avocado, bit of lettuce. Like, oh, they're. If you go to Honduras and you go to Utila, the island where people do the scuba diving, if you go there, there's a place called Seven Seas. You can look it up on Google Maps, it's on it. Go there and get is it called the Super Baleada or the Mega Super Baleada, something along those lines. It is absolutely ginormous. It's like the width of my laptop here, and you'll eat one of them and you're sorted for the day. You might have a little something for breakfast, have a Super Baleada about 2 o'clock, and that's you absolutely sorted. Yeah, that is all the questions I got today. I don't really have anything in specific that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, if you have any more questions, or there's anything you would like to know about traveling, drop them in the comments below. Unfortunately, I have to go get ready for work now, and GoPro batteries, I said this the last day, they're so bad. Like, I don't understand what it is. They just, I don't know, maybe it's because it's not even that small anymore. It's actually big enough. I do want to get the 10, or either the batteries from the 10, because they're meant to be more longer lasting. This one here, like, it's already, I can see here now, it's down to orange, which I think it's about 35% that like kicks in. So that's not great. My GoPro wouldn't turn on earlier. I thought it was a goner, but I don't know, one of the SD cards was just being weird. So she's back working now, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that little episode of Travel Talks, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.